Dan Bidondi for TruthRadioShow.com, and we're going to bring you a debate here. It is the Passover, just about. It's April 3rd of 2015, and we're going to debate this guy from Truthful Radio. He's hosts this YouTube show. Anyway, from day one, instead of fighting the New World Order, instead of doing things important, he's been doing nothing but calling myself a shill, Mark Dice a shill, Alex Jones a shill. They work for Stratfor. I mean, wild eye stuff, folks. But we're not here to talk about Mark Dice, and he even brought up Luke Rudkowski. But that's him calling right now. Hello?
I got you here on Google Plus Live, and...
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I got you here on live. All right, folks, we got Dan Bidondi here on the line, former Infowars reporter, still kind of is in a way. Did some work last year with 2013, I think it was, with Wolfgang Hallebeck. He went out to Newtown, Connecticut to the school board meeting, and I have him here right now live. He's been commenting on all my videos, trying to protect people like Alex Jones and Mark Dice, and we're going to go ahead and go into COINTEL. Listen, Dan, I'm going to be respectful to you because I have you on here as a guest. Despite my criticism of you that we've been talking back and forth to each other, I'm going to be respectful. And I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. I used to be a fan of Alex Jones. I used to be a fan of Mark Dice. But I've been seeing through their BS. And if you can literally debunk everything I'm talking about, point by point, I will personally apologize to you. I'll take down all my videos. And I will be an Infowars fan again because I'm just starting to see a pattern here of controlled opposition. So let's get into it.
Well, first of all, I'm still a reporter for Infowars. I just did a report not too long ago, last week. And also, I'm not here to talk about Mark Dice or Luke Rudkowski. I don't know too much about them guys to even defend them. But I've been in Infowars. I've been in the headquarters. I worked alongside with Alex Jones 12 to plus hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. I know the guy personally. I know his family. I ate dinner with the people, and and the thing is, like, it's funny when I hear this stuff, and that's why I have to make the comments because there's so many people out there that have misconstrued information. But yeah, go ahead. I've got to be respectful myself here. So, I just want to hear your points first, and you say each point by point, and I'll talk after that.
Okay, it's funny how you talk about Luke and Mark Dice. I think the reason why you don't want to talk about them, Dan, is because they're really more well exposed than Alex Jones. I mean, Luke has 32nd degree Freemason Craig Fitzgerald, who's in charge of We Are Change New York City. Dan, this is an illuminated member who is a part of an organization that has received tons of money from Infowars. Any comment?
Well, comment about that. I mean, I'm not an expert, but just about in secret societies, the occult, Illuminati, Freemasonry, and all that. And not all I'm not defending Freemasonry by all means. I mean, I don't suggest anybody to belong to that. It's definitely not a place of God, that's for sure. But all Freemasons are not completely illuminated. Even some 33 degrees, they don't know what's really going on in the Masonry. I'm not defending that point at all. But I established my own part of We Are Changed a long time ago. I don't know too much about Luke Rudkowski. I met him personally. We hung out, did reports together, and the guy has been nothing but great to me. He's an awesome reporter, too. I mean, he really sticks it to these establishment puppets really good. But I don't know too much about him to defend him or any of these other people. You know what I mean?
I see where you're coming from, but you know what? I mean, come on, man. We Are Change have received thousands of dollars from Infowars. This is an Infowars-funded campaign, and if you do, like you said, you don't know too much about the occult, like you just said. When you get to the 30th degree, it is confirmed that it is Lucifer, it is the secret gnosis, the goddess that they've been worshiping inside the lodge.
No, I said I don't know too much about them. I know a hell-ton boatload of like just about in the Novus area of the secret societies and occults. I know very in-depth details about Freemasonry, and I've been studying the stuff for years on end. And but again, not all 33-degree Masons, are at the cornerstone. It depends which path you take. And even still, I'm not condoning it at all, but it depends what path you take before you get to that point. The right or the left, but either way, they're both bad anyway. But anyway, I established my own We Are Change. It was We Are Change Blackstone, Rhode Island, Massachusetts chapter, because I lived right on the border there. And We Are Change, I mean, all over the world, I know members and group leaders and all that. All these people are very active. They do great. And of course, I mean, I sent money to them too. Infowars sent money to them, of course, because they're out there. They're confronting politicians. I mean, I don't know how many videos I posted as part of We Are Change. And why wouldn't Alex Jones and Infowars want to fund that? I mean, they're a very active group. I mean, you know, again, you point out to somebody else that he put in charge, whatever. But there's their own chapters. We run our own chapters. Luke Radowski doesn't tell us what to do. We send our videos to him. He puts them on a national website. He has no control of what we do. We're all part of the same team, but he has no overlook, so to speak. You know what I mean? And the We Are Change is one of the best worldwide activist organizations out there.
Well, of course, yeah, We Are Change is. I mean, like, I used to be a fan of We Are Change, too, of course, until I started seeing through the Masonic connections within We Are Change. And, Dan, it's funny how you say that you know a lot about Freemasonry, but after the 30th degree, you get illuminated in Masonry, of course. Adam Weishaupt created that in 1776 after he founded the Bavarian Illuminati. And you know, I mean, it's obvious after the 30th degree that it's Lucifer that you're worshiping. And I'm pretty sure this guy is a devil worshiper because he's a 32nd degree illuminated Freemason. And you're telling me that there's nothing to worry about when it comes to that? I mean... Well,
again, I'm not saying there is. I'm not defending that. You know, he should not be part of Freemasonry. I'm not condoning it at all. And I agree with you of him not, you know, it shouldn't be a Freemasonry running this thing. But, you know, I don't know too much about these guys, so I can't make a good opinion to argue with, you know what I'm saying? But I know I ran my We Are Change chapter the way it was supposed to be. My friend ran his We Are Change in part of Rhode Island there, his chapter, and people across the country that I know, they run their chapter the way they're supposed to run it. You know what I mean? So as far as at the top, I have no idea. I can't argue with you yet.
Okay, I hear you saying that. Okay, but I have another question too. Do you know about Jesse Ventura? Do you think he's in any way control opposition? I mean, he was seen wearing a 32nd degree double-headed eagle Masonic jacket, and he says that Hunter S. Thompson is a great guy, and he wanted to take off the work of Hunter S. Thompson. But let me ask you something, Dan. Have you ever read the Franklin cover-up by former Senator John DeCamp, where he highlights the activities that went on in the Bohemian Grove?
I haven't, no.
Okay. Well, in that book, Paul Bonacci, one of the victims, of course, he describes that it was Hunter S. Thompson who filmed a snuff film. And here's Jesse Ventura wearing a 32nd degree Mason, supporting this guy who has shot, confirmed by multiple people, Russell Nelson as well. You've probably heard of him. He was the photographer of the Franklin cover-up. He admitted as well that he got offered 100 racks to shoot a snuff film with Hunter S. Thompson. And, you know, then Jesse Ventura supporting this guy who does that while wearing a 32nd degree, not at the same time, obviously, but you see the pattern I'm coming to, right? About he's wearing the jacket, you know, he's...
Well, as far as Jesse...
about Hunter S. Thompson, when in reality, he's a part of it. Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, I even went on record to say I don't agree with Jesse Ventura's philosophical views. He believes evolution and all that, but he is a great patriot. He asks, you know, the tough questions and all that. But as far as that, I have no idea. I mean, I can't even elaborate on that. I don't know what Jesse does in his own time. I know he's a fellow pro wrestler like I am, and you know what I mean? It's just like, and he is bringing some truth out there, and he does ask questions, you know. But the thing is, I don't know too much about his personal life or what he does, if he's a Freemason or not. I mean, I have no idea.
All right, that's all I had to ask about that subject. So let's go into Mollygate a little bit, and Molly Maroney, the former editor-in-chief for the Infowars magazine. I actually spoke with her on the phone a couple months ago. I don't know if you've heard that I have or not, but I did record it. I did post it for a little bit, but I took it down because I didn't let her know that I was recording, so I got rid of the video completely. But let's go into Miss Molly Maroney and her resume that she made available to the public.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so if you go to Miss Molly Maroney's resume, it says that she worked for Parker Media and Stratfor, okay? By now, you know that Stratfor is a global intelligence front that works hand-in-hand with Mossad agencies to gather intelligence. That's just basic information. That's what Stratfor is, okay? This girl is working for Parker Media, which is a confirmed Stratfor operation from the WikiLeaks that came out February 2012. It came out, of course, that Parker Media was a Stratfor operation and the Israeli connections and yada, yada, yada. And she's working for Parker Media the same time she's working at exposed corrupt Senator Whitmire's office of the Texas Senate, okay? And she's working at the same time she's working at Parker Media. Is it too obvious to say with her published works and help research with Richard Parker from Parker Media of cybersecurity and all of these connections, is it too far-fetched to say that Miss Molly Maroney could have been a spy, a Stratfor spy, who gets fed intelligence while working at Infowars?
Oh, not at all. I mean, like, there's so many people that's been worked for different organs. Look at, the whistleblower from the NSA. You know, I mean, for example, he came out and told the truth. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't mean everybody that works at Stratfor, and she was only an intern. You know, especially intern, they're not going to give her a top-level clearance being an intern. I mean, even people that have been there for years is not going to get top-level clearance. You know what I mean? And I work for defense contractors myself. I worked for a shipyard, electric boat, and all that, and I hated the job. But I worked for these places, and I worked at the airport many years, and, different jobs there, and you don't get top-level clearance walking in the door. I mean, it takes years and years, and most of the time you don't even get that, And so somebody from being an intern is definitely not going to get any kind of clearance at all in Stratfor, especially being an intern.
Well, the fact is that she did work there for a couple months at Stratfor. She was an intern position, so marketing intern, situation report writer. I'm reading her resume right now. And Parker Media, of course, which the thing is, she worked for Parker Media for a whole year. So during that year, plus the couple months at Stratfor, all at the same time working at Senator Whitmire's office from June 2010 to June 2011. Is there any chance she could have gained intelligence and ability to become a spy? And, I mean, she has published works with Richard Parker from Parker Media. Of course, he's been well exposed as well for working with Friedman and all that to create Stratfor, et cetera, with the WikiLeaks that came out February 2012. But one of Molly Maroney's published works is China, Cyber Espionage, and U.S. National Security by Richard Parker with research by Molly Maroney. She was researching for this. So, you get where I'm coming from? Do you really, any comment?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, when you're not awake, okay, you think being a spy or a secret agent or an FBI agent, whatever, is cool. Before I was awake, I was like, oh, that'd be so awesome to be some kind of a top-notch spy or some kind of a secret agent. Everybody, we all get brainwashed when they're younger. So, she woke up. I mean, she even told me that, that stuff was bad. That's why she wanted to work for Infowars, because she's aware of things now. She's awake about things. And now, she knows that, those companies are bad now. I mean, like, everybody, even us FBI agents who came clean. I had Don Adams on my show. He was the FBI agent down in Dallas, Texas when JFK got assassinated. He said he joined the FBI for the same reason, to be a good guy, help society and all that. But I later learn about the corruption of the FBI, and he exposes it all. And Molly Maroney, I mean, she didn't really know anything. She didn't know about, anything. First of all, who does anyway? Anybody out in the public there, they don't know that their own government's criminals. Sure, when you get a job off it's a CIA organization, whatever, you say, oh, that's cool, because you're working, it says, foot in the government and everything else. But when you get in the inside and actually learn what it's really about, and thank God she did it ahead of time before she went any further, of course you're going to want to get your ass out of there, And so, like, that doesn't make her a spy. Again, you have to go through years and years, and I mean, for her just to be an intern, you don't get that kind of status.
But she gets enough stat to go work for Senator Whitmire's office at the Texas Senate?
Well, I mean, I know people here in Rhode Island. 18-year-old girl, she's 19 now. She's just about the head of the GOP here in Rhode Island because she worked her butt off at a young age. But, so that doesn't really say nothing. And she's starting to learn now that the GOP is not a good thing. And, but I mean, like, it takes sometimes people to get inside to actually know what's going on. Look at the military troops. They think they're going overseas to fight for their country. When they get over there, most of them realize, hey, wait, this ain't about freedom. The CIA's running the whole operation. So that's why Homeland Security puts them on the number one terror watch list, because they know the military now are awake. Same thing, again, back to Molly Maroney. She has probably had no idea what she was getting into.
Okay, so you're basically saying that basically Stratfor and Parker Media were just basically using her, and then she finally found out what these agencies were up to, how corrupt, and that's why she left.
Exactly. I mean, like, why would she go work for Infowars? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Infowars was founded the same year Stratfor was, and I'm going to tell you something, Dan. I probably am wrong, and I could be wrong about that picture of Alex Jones, okay? I'm not saying that I'm 100% right about that, but the fact is, when you made that video calling me out and stuff, I know you didn't mention my name, so you didn't really call me out, excuse me for that, you didn't really go into, like, exact details. You just kind of made half the video about that one point that I might have been wrong about. Now, Alex Jones calls anybody who asks about Stratfor, anybody who has any questions about Stratfor, mentally ill. Any comment?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, because the thing is, if you ever notice, right, how many people have gone out to trash Alex Jones? How many people have done that? And I think he's only responded to one person. That was Glenn Beck, and it's been a rival for going on for years. But when I was there, Alex was like, "Don't even pay attention to them. I don't care." He goes, and he told me personally, off air, off record. He says, "You know, the thing is, if I take time right now to focus my attention on this and respond to these people," he goes, "I'm gonna get wrapped up in this, and it's gonna take time away from me fighting the New World Order." He goes, "I'm 100% focused on fighting the New World Order." He goes, "I could care a rat's ass who talks about me." You know, which he's right. You know what I mean? Because especially that kind of, I mean, like, you have to be in the Infowars headquarters to understand. I can't speak with words. I mean, Rob Dew, he showed me the tips that come in a day, thousands worldwide, thousands of emails, not counting the phone calls, letters, books, CDs, all kinds of things that come in the mail. I mean, it is insane. I mean, they can't hire enough people to keep up with it. And, they have people monitoring the social medias and all that for questions, and they can't keep up with that. It is that much insane. And for Alex to turn his focus, because he's got to worry about his show, the nightly news, the magazine department, the sales department, this department. I mean, the guy, he's a machine. And most of the time, he's like goes home with a migraine headache, and it's crazy what that guy goes through.
Okay, well, the thing is that the clip where somebody called in, he said, "How are you doing?" And to Alex, he wasn't being disrespectful at all. He said, "I have a question for you, Alex." Alex says, "Sure." And he asked, "Who is Molly Maroney?" I think he pronounced it a little bit differently in the clip. And Alex says, "Molly is one of our graphic designers that works here in the office," something like that. And all he asked was, wasn't she formerly with Stratfor? Alex Jones ends his phone call, calls him mentally ill.
Yeah,
and
because he doesn't.
On just for like 3 minutes about nonsense, and it's just, that's just really suspicious activity, including when a caller also called in his show and asked him why he didn't cover Stratfor being at Bilderberg. Listen, if you go to 2013 when that clip was aired, you can go to the Bilderberg attendee list. I don't even need to pull it up. He should have known. He's Mr. Know-It-All when it comes to this shit. And you're telling me Alex Jones from Austin, Texas, Mr. Know-It-All about the Illuminati and the Bilderbergs, had no idea a corporation from his own town was showing up at Bilderberg?
Well, first of all, the question should be is who wasn't at Bilderberg? And the thing is, how is he supposed to know? He's going to Bilderberg to expose these people. He's not.
The attendee list came out 2 weeks before.
No, I understand, but he's not. He's going to Bilderberg to expose them. Okay, he's not going to know every little person, every little detail, every company, whatnot that's going to Bilderberg. There's probably thousands.
It's a corporation from his own town that is showing up
but
at
he's.
Bilderberg.
I'm sure that.
Know that.
I'm sure the CIA was there too.
I'm going to say one thing. He's either a blithering idiot or he is a total and a complete liar. You and him can decide.
Well, I'm sure the CIA was there, most likely. Other federal agencies are there. I was at the Boston bombing, for example, here. I was there, right? One of the guys that was trying to threaten me is a Secret Service agent. I had no clue that was Obama. I had no clue the Secret Service was there until later on when I was told. I just thought they were FBI agents. I was in the heat of the moment. I was there to expose the Boston bombing. Alex Jones is at Bilderberg to expose the Bilderberg, not worrying about who else is there. We know everybody's there. It's not a secret. So he's going to point out, oh, Stratfor is a small key in this operation. Yeah, Stratfor ain't big as everybody thinks they are. They work under the CIA, okay? They work under these global intelligence agencies. They're nothing compared to these other guys. So he's going to say, he's going to point out Stratfor when there's thousands of other agencies and everybody else there. You know what I mean? He's got enough to worry about exposing Bilderberg, you know, let alone all these other operations are going there. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, that kind of statement is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Just because Stratfor's there, you know what I mean?
Listen, man, Alex Jones says anybody who asks him about Stratfor is mentally ill. He doesn't know anything about Stratfor coming to Bilderberg, a corporation in his own town, hangs up on anybody who asks about it.
Well, because you don't want to deal with it.
An intern who worked for corrupt Senator Whitmire and Parker Media. You know what I think?
Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't want to deal with it. Hold on. If you run in the show, right, you got, just say, I don't know, you talk about Operation Jade Helm, right? Somebody calls in to talk about Mollygate, whatever. You don't want to deal with that. You're talking about Operation, you got guests coming on next. He doesn't want to get into that because if he does, he knows he's going to go into a rant or a big debate and it's going to blow off the whole show. They got guests lined up. They got a bunch of segments lined up. They can't divert from that stuff. So I would hang up too. If somebody called in, I was talking about Jade Helm or whatever, somebody called in about something else, I would just hang up and call morons because that has nothing to do with that. And, you got to deal with that on the side issue. And he's already addressed the whole Mollygate. He's already addressed everything about Stratfor. I mean, it's all over YouTube. I mean, you can watch the tons of videos. He addressed every detail about it, and he moved on. You know, and then because there's such a giant media out there, a big new world order, we don't have time to sit there and focus on little things like that. You know what I mean? And I would hang up too. If somebody called my show about that, I'd be like, next call. You know what I mean? That's just ridiculous. And to say that, because Stratfor was there, you know, at Bilderberg, so what? I'm sure the CIA was there. I'm sure everybody else was there. How is he gonna? He's got enough worrying about to do his own safety there, let alone Stratfor being there. You know, that's just ridiculous.
I'm not saying he has to put all of his energy into that, but you have Alex Jones, who hires Molly Maroney and also admitted to hiring 3 other interns from Stratfor from an Israeli and CIA agency, okay? He hangs up on anybody, calls them mentally ill when the caller was not being disrespectful at all, and then when he got asked why didn't he cover Stratfor at Bilderberg, he's going to say he had no idea, but he was reporting and exposing the Bilderberg attendee list, days before in advance. And he has no idea a corporation from his own town. Like I said, Dan, either he's a liar or he is an idiot.
Well, how's that make him, I don't know where that's going with that. You know what I mean? How does that make him any kind of a psyops or what? Because he's focused on his life in jeopardy, his reporters out there and everything else going on at Bilderberg, a million things, cops threatening him, but he's going to say, all right, let's stop the show. Everybody, Stratfor is here, one of the small players are here. You know what I mean? Like, that does not make sense at all. Anybody who's been out to these things like this would tell you the same thing.
It makes no sense, but yet he calls anybody mentally ill who asks about it.
Well, yeah, because he's already addressed it, and it doesn't make sense at all. You know,
it doesn't make sense that he talks to people like that who are asking simple questions. People have devoted years of their life to this truth movement. When something major like this comes up, the people we turn to for the truth are silent.
He's already addressed this, though. I mean, how many times has he got to go down that same well? He's already addressed it and moved on. You know what I mean? That's why he doesn't deal with people when they call him out like that. He's focused on the New World Order, focused on fighting this thing. You know what I mean? And we broke up on all these false flags. We broke open. If we were such a psyops, why would we get death threats from the CIA, death threats from the FBI, death threats from the Secret Service, people calling in? I mean, we went through a living hell because we broke open the Boston bombing, Sandy Hook, Jade Helm, 9/11. He's lost, I think it was 67 radio stations after he exposed 9/11. 67 of them. But yeah, he's a fraud. I mean, like, the guy went through hell. He almost lost his whole career from exposing 9/11. You know what I mean? People don't see the stuff on the inside. They don't see what goes on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And, I know you got to bring up next the 1999, the 2000 bug. We all thought that. We were just reporting what may happen. We didn't say it was definitely going to happen. We said it could happen, may happen. This is how to prepare for it. So when that came along, he's like, I'm glad to be wrong. He said right now, I am glad to be wrong, okay? Because, all of us thought that stuff was going to happen. So these things that people bring up is just this nitpicking when they overlook the facts that we're the ones expose all these things. You know, the false flags and everything else. We're the ones who get death threats. We're the ones who get followed around.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, you haven't even exposed, Alex Jones hasn't even exposed these death threats that he's supposedly getting. You said that high-level officials have came up to you personally and blew the lid off of things, of operations, but yet you failed to report that, you failed to inform your audience on that, and that's a sign of gatekeeping.
No, it's not gatekeeping. You know what I mean? People come up to us, I mean, like a high-level intelligence officer, whatever, they'll come up to us. We can't show the face for their security and their safety. It will give the information. I got approached in Chicago, O'Hare Airport, by a top-level Homeland Security officer. He showed me documents and everything else. This is all logged, too. I was on the Money Bomb when I was hosting the show. I told everybody it was going to happen on the East Coast with the martial law, the hurricane, and everything else, and it came true to a T. To a T, because I was given information from a whistleblower who was an Alex Jones fan that was a high level into Homeland Security. And I told it was on record, then it all came to pass. You know what I mean? Because we get this information all the time. There are good people who do work in these agencies. And they bring us information. They work there to be whistleblowers, like Edward Snowden. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good people out there who are in there just to get the information and to expose it. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I see where you're coming from, like I said again. But like I said, Alex Jones is just one of the most obvious gatekeepers. He's the most obvious COINTEL agent. I mean, dude, you think he snuck into the Bohemian Grove? He had no security clearance. He just went through. But he goes on his show and constantly tells his audience, I have families that are deep up in the Freemasonry. I have families that are in the CIA and the FBI. I have families in Secret Service. But he just walked into the Bohemian Grove without any security clearance and just told the people at the security guard, he said, I'm with the hillbilly camp, George Bush's camp. You know what? I bet he spent the night in the Grove, and I bet he drank beers with George Bush and all the presidential scum that he calls out. You know why? Because he's a gatekeeper, and he has constant people like Mark Dice on the show who are well exposed, disinformation, pushing bullshit, and trying to discredit people for talking about who believe in the Sandy Hook shooting. Dan, you go out there and you put your ass on the line. You were in the school board meeting with Wolfgang Halibut, yet Mark Dice goes out there and just says anybody who believes in Sandy Hook is a mentally enslaved moron. Dan, Mark Dice made fun of you a few years ago when he had his Fearmonger Fridays with Alex Jones. He called you an Alex Jones Kool-Aid drinker and basically made you sound like you were Alex Jones's pet on one of his videos. And I know you know what I'm talking about because you almost mentioned his name live on the air. You're like Fritz Springmeier because you had your earphone in because someone in the studio told you not to mention Mark Dice.
No, nobody told me that.
Hold on. When him and Alex Jones had that fake feud, okay? Well, you listen to me. This guy has dissed you in the past. He's out there saying the work you believe in is disinformation. Dan, if you're not controlled opposition, if you don't have any strings tied to you, help me expose government-sponsored truthers like Mark Allen Schuldice who push disinformation. And anytime anything particular strong comes up about the Illuminati, he's the first person to tell you to look the other way. Comment.
Well, I already told you at the beginning, I'm not here to comment. I don't know too much. I don't know barely anything about Mark Dice.
Like I said, Dan, if you're not controlled up, if you don't have any strings, let me educate you on this stuff. Look into this stuff and make videos about it. If you don't have any strings attached, call out Mark Dice for being the most obvious COINTEL steal ever. I mean, every time these obvious stage shootings, Santa Barbara, Sandy Hook, he's always telling you to look the other way. I mean, come on.
Well, with him, I seen the videos of him talking about me or whatever, but I talked to Mark Dice after that, and I talked to other talk show hosts, Peter Santilli too, and all these guys were going after Alex. I said, listen, guys, why is everybody fighting for? I'm not trying to get involved here, but why is everybody fighting? Everybody should be working together to fight this thing because people have a hard time alone swallowing that red pill. Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, but
listen to people like Alex Jones, Mark Dice, David Icke, Radowski Ventura, Bernoff, etc. They want us to listen to these people, so we just listen to them only and fail to do our own research. That's exactly why.
Well, Mark Dice apologized to me afterwards, and I don't know too much about Mark Dice to defend him. I don't. But when you were bringing up, what I was trying to say is when you bring those videos up of him having a dating site and all that stuff, that has nothing to do with that. We all had dreams and we worked for things. I had businesses that failed in the past. You know what I mean? That doesn't make him a shill. You know what I mean? Now, if there's something deeper that I don't know about, you know what I mean, whatever. But, I mean, I'm not here for infighting. And, again, I don't know too much about Mark Dice. Mark Dice apologized to me. He made his, mended back his relationship with Alex Jones again, apologized to him, and everybody's happy. All the talk show hosts did it and everything else, and everybody's back on the same page. Most people, anyway.
Everybody's happy again because Alex Jones pays everybody off. Right after Alex Jones and Mark Dice get back together on their show, Alex Jones is just a millionaire out of nowhere. Oh, really? What a freaking coincidence. After all this Stratfor stuff, he's suddenly worth over $1 million. He went from, worth $300,000 to millions of dollars now. Now he's worth $8 million today because everybody signs the non-disclosure agreement like you did.
Well, you know, the non-disclosure agreement is all. Let me explain to you what the non-disclosure agreement is. It's not about keeping secrets. No, because when you run a business, right? You know, like you have a restaurant has a secret sauce. Okay, as you have a system. Okay, the way you run an operation. You know what I mean? That's what he's talking about because he doesn't want people, the competition, which is rightfully so. Competition know how they edit the videos and do this and that, the other thing. That's what he's talking about. Not because it's a top secret PSYOPs covert operation. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. He just doesn't want people we come up with a unique way of editing videos, which we do. He doesn't want people to run out and say, to the competition, blah, 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 And rightfully so, you should. You should have people sign those, especially being in that kind of operation, because who knows, somebody could come work there and all of a sudden, go talk about everything. He has to back himself up somehow. I mean, he's been through a lot. A lot of employees that came and gone that sabotaged him and everything else. And so he has no choice to do that.
But the reason why he's in sabotage is because he's an absolute liar. Alex Jones constantly lies, Dan. Look up 123 Alex Jones lies, and you can listen to every single one of them. Look, man.
How are they, first of all...
He's con artists. He says gay people are created by the government, and you're going to sit here and defend this guy?
Hold on. How is he lying?
Excuse me?
How does he lie?
How does he lie? How does he lie? Well, first of all, like the mountain lion thing I showed you, first of all. Second of all, he's telling people Russia's attacking fucking the United States in 1999, New Year's Eve 1999. He's telling everybody, Russia's attacking the United States. He made Bill Cooper and his family literally evacuate his house. He made so many people evacuate because he's full of fucking fear. He's a fear monger.
Hold on. It's not, hold on. That's not, he's lying, okay? It's not that he's lying. It's like we only report what we're told, that's all. We only report what we are told. In other words, some guy come up to me, he has a top secret document here that says we're gonna declare martial law tomorrow. And we, see the document's legit, of course. We're going to go out right away. They're planning on martial law, like you talked about the North American Union. They planned on that for 2010. He came out and said that, and it's not that we were wrong or he was wrong. We were just reporting what we were told. And when you do report something like that, they most of the time, 99% of the time, they change plans. When you expose that operation, they change plans, and no, it doesn't make us wrong, okay? We just reported and yes, there were Russian submarines all over the east and west coast of the United States of America, right in international waters. He wasn't lying about that. And we were just reporting what we were told, that's all. And he comes out and says it all the time. This is what we're told. This is what we're telling you, okay? We're not saying this is definitely going to happen. It's 100%. He never says that. He goes, this is what might happen. That's what people don't understand. He said, this might happen. This is the information we're given, and we're telling you this. That's what a lot of people don't...
Alex Jones says that you get a background check if you order a pizza, okay? I don't think that he's sitting there saying, this could be true. No, he said with his own words that now if you order a pizza, you get a background check. What kind of shit is that? That's comment.
Well, that came out. I mean, that was true. He wasn't talking about the whole country, but places in Pennsylvania. They were giving out laptops, too, and spying on kids. When you go to the liquor store, they have scans your face, and you have to get approved by the state to sell alcohol. He wasn't lying about any of that stuff. And a background check to order pizza. I mean, that's coming. I mean, they have the operations. He showed the documents. And, you know, if it's not true, it's not that he's lying. Again, it's because we got the information, we reported it, and it doesn't matter if it comes true or not because we reported what they were going to do or what they want to do. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make us wrong. We're just reporting it. And if it doesn't happen or not, if it doesn't happen, great. We're happy to be wrong. Happy. And when he is wrong, he does come out, and you can watch every one of his shows. He does come out and humbly apologizes for being wrong about stuff. He doesn't sit there and defend his lies. Okay? He comes out and says, hey, look, I was wrong about this. I'm glad I was wrong. And he moves on. You know what I mean? And he says, well, human beings, we all make mistakes. I mean, have you reported everything 100%? None of us did. You know what I mean? And people nitpick that 1 out of 1,000 things that he makes a mistake on. They take that out and say, oh, look, he's a shill. How's he a shill for reporting that what we told? You know what I mean? If you were in the locker room, right, and you were at a gym, and it was 3 FBI agents talking, right, and you heard that they're going to blow up the school near you tomorrow, you got to run out and blow that damn horn and yell. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't come true, people going to say, oh, you're wrong. No, not you're wrong. You got misinformation from them, or they changed the plans because they found out you found out. You know what I mean? That's, people don't see that stuff.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and change the subject then. But the thing is that you're commenting on my videos, you're telling me, you're protecting, like you're literally just defending these people like Mark Dice and Alex Jones and shit when they've been well exposed, especially like Dice, like I've told you about. But yet you still continue to defend this system.
Which system?
The disinformation agents that are here, that are pushing pure disinformation, Dan.
How is he pushing? What disinformation is he pushing?
What disinformation is Alex pushing?
Yeah, what? We told you about the TV spying on you. That came out, was true. We told you about the phone spying on you. That came out. We were the ones on top of every damn false flag. Okay, we're the ones who came out with the stuff first. We have the whole world media to prove that. So how the hell is he a disinformation agent when we're on the front lines of the stuff constantly? We were in Ferguson.
Dan, this guy is the first person. He goes and tells his audience, "I have family that's deep into masonry. I have
what's up? I have
family that's deep in the CIA, deep in the Secret Service, deep in the FBI." But you know what? He got 100% security clearance from the Bohemian Grove. You know what? I think he was allowed in, honestly, if you ask me. I mean, come on, who gets to go in there, sneak a film, lie to Secret Service, and not engage?
Well, maybe he knows people on the inside to pull some strings to get him in, to expose it.
I went over point by point about his Stratfor connections, and you failed to debunk nothing. You told me personally that you have David Knight old reports where it has that same backdrop as the background. Yeah, I've been asking you for months for the videos, and you still haven't.
They're all over YouTube.
World Order Shields. Peace out.
They're all over YouTube. And of course, they hang up, and again, another coward, because it's just ridiculous, and I don't know why he bothered taking my time out of this. It's just so ridiculous, and again, it shows he's the coward, and I'm sure he's gonna make YouTube videos of this. Oh, Dan Bidondi left, whatever. But you heard it here, okay? He hung up on me. He said, "Peace out." Hung up on me, and because they can't prove nothing, they sit there and make up these wild-eyed rumors. And, 1,000 things Alex does is right. That one little thing he does, makes a mistake on. And that's not that him making a mistake. It's the information we were given was wrong. And he even apologizes when he doesn't have to. But, they nitpick that stuff. And, the Bohemian Grove, he maybe knew people that got him in there that wanted to expose the thing. I mean, if I got a job there and I seen stuff going on there, I would want to expose or have somebody sneak somebody in to do that. And the thing is, how many people, all the prophets of God, all through the Bible, I mean, they have accomplished great feats. Impossible. How the hell did he do that? But they were inspired by God. If God wanted Alex to go into that Bohemian Grove, he would, he did. And if he wanted him to do it again, he would. And nothing could stop that. When God wants you to do something, there's nothing at all that can stop it. But people like this guy, Truthful Radio, I forgot the kid's name, whatever. But these people, I mean, I have to quote Alex Jones. They're deranged. They really are, and they hate talking bad about people. But these people are pure deranged. I mean, they just use circular reasoning and just going round and round and round the same stuff again. You know, I don't know. It's just so dumb. It really is. And you know, watch my video. I talked about it says Alex Jones Stratfor connection debunked. Watch that, because his main point was about this picture. You know, probably throw it up on the screen real quick. This picture of him and this guy from Stratford, you know, separate pictures about the background, but you can see, the backdrop's totally different. It's a different shade of color. It's the one with the Stratford guy standing there, that's in sections and tearing off, and the Alex's is all laminated. It's flat on the wall like this. And, it's just so ridiculous. It really is. And these little things, they peel, oh, my God, he's a Zionist shill. You know what I mean? And I took a picture. I'm going to put that on screen, actually. I took a picture. I was at the Children's Museum today. It has a globe background. So I took a picture. I'm like, Dan Bidondi's in front of Stratford. The Children's Museum in Providence, Rhode Island is Stratford controlled. Well, it's just so ridiculous. It really is. And again, I love debating these people because, it just makes them look dumb. Peace out. See you later. And just a coward that couldn't face that every one of his little theories were deflated. And that's all they are. It's just theories, deflated theories. But anyway, we're about out of time, and this is Dan Bidondi for TruthRadioShow.com.